Into the ballgame is Paul McKeskey, who's become kind of a cult hero in Milwaukee, Tommy.
Fred Roberts hits McKeskey at the other end.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of We Got Next, a Monday night football edition of We Got Next. We're going to be on a little earlier throughout the football season. Try to get some pregame stuff in before the game start. Even though tonight, Mo, is actually a game starting now. They're having a doubleheader. I think.
But no one cares about that, man.
Yeah, Tampa Bay and Houston are playing tonight.
The real game's after that.
Yeah, and then are they out there?
Yeah, they're here. Yeah, they're at Allegiant.
And the Chargers. Oakland and the Chargers. The Raiders and the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers are really good, and the Raiders, with the new coach, he's brought some new blood here. It's amazing, though. I mean, did you watch the Canelo fight Saturday?
I could not stay up, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was in Allegiant. They had 80,000 people there, and it was really set up for boxing and everything, and now it's football. Let's go. That's crazy.
Did you stay up and watch all of it, Mo?
Yeah, yeah. It was, up out here in the West, it ain't that late, man.
It wasn't too bad.
It did end at like 11:30 or something. It's kind of late for me.
Yeah, it was good. Mo, I see you wearing your Packer gear tonight, and you should be very proud of that team. They really look good. They look like the best team in the league so far. 2 games in, but
yeah. But they look like one of the best. This is, in my opinion, this is going to be the dictator if Love is the quarterback for them for the future. I mean, he's been up and down. He's been really great. He's been really bad. He's thrown too many interceptions. Now you got a defense that's rock solid, and you got a decent offensive line. You got a decent run game. Now if I'm the general manager of the Packers or the owner or whoever's personnel guy, I'm watching him, because if he can't get it done this year, at least to the finals or the Super Bowl, then maybe he's not that guy.
Yeah. And they're off to a 2-0 start. They took down my Lions. Fortunately, we had the Bears come to town. I think the Lions sent a plane over for the Bears.
Yeah, first class, baby.
Come on over, guys. We got you. They took the Bears out, but it's early in the year, and we'll see how things start to shake out. Terrible news out of Cincinnati, Paul. Joe Burrow has a toe injury. You would think a toe injury wouldn't be as disastrous.
You're talking to the wrong guy, man.
I know it.
I've had 6 foot surgeries and 1 on my toe. They had to clip some ligaments out. You don't realize how much your toes, especially your big toe, dictates your whole body, all your balance, which affects, guess what? Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your neck, your back. So it's all from the ground up. So it doesn't surprise me. And it must be like really bad, not little turf toe. It must be like something's really bad in there for them to go in. They'll probably put some screws in there. Like I have screws and plates in my foot. But fortunately, I don't have to go run around and try not to get beat up by some of these linemen, which when he comes back in 3 or 4 months, he's going to have to do. But yeah, it's we always say, Ricky, right? The best ability is availability, and you're just one play away. Most of these teams are one player away from, being great to being average to being out of the playoffs. It's just a fact.
Yeah. And like you said, I used to hear people, well, he's got a toe problem. I'm like, dude, you can't tough that out. I have a far better understanding of that now. Because when you say the toe, it sounds so innocuous.
Yeah, it's a little toe, It's, when you say that, in your mind you go, What's that? Like a toenail or something? You
Yeah.
know, come on, that's not what it is.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, so we got NFL going on. Got a lot of NBA stuff to talk about, Mo. Training camp is right around the corner for everybody. And I see people tuning in. Welcome to the show. Send us your questions and
Yep.
comments. Uh, you can watch the game, turn the game down, and listen to us.
But nobody cares about the first game. Don't worry about it. You're waiting for the Raiders game anyway.
Well, if you do happen to be on there, do that. And
Sorry.
check us out.
Ricky, job drop.
And Paul, you were talking. We were talking before we came on the air. Vegas had the Canelo fight, Canelo Crawford, Saturday night, Monday Night Football tonight. 80,000 people watched the fight.
Yeah, it's a record for that. It's a record for Allegiant. You know, obviously, when you have a fight, you know, you could put a lot more seating in there than a football game because, you know, very similar to a concert. But even when you looked at how it looked with the big scoreboard and the little ring and all that, you know, because even concerts have big stages now, you know, so I think that's how, you know, they got 80,238 in there, you know, but it was electric. That, you know, Vegas puts on all the lighting and sound and everything, and they had bands and, you know, it was a good show. And you know, I watched Hearns Hagler in the Silverdome on the big screen way back when, you know, but I'm not really a fight guy, but you know, you know, there's so much UFC now fighting. That's the big thing. And I think it's good for boxing to get back into it. And Netflix did a great job because I actually watched with Linda here. There was two little shows that to show what the boxers came from and their life and their background and who's behind. Really a good look at their life and who's around them. You know, Crawford's people, his group have been around him forever since he was a little kid. So he trusts them, and it showed them training. And so there was a real interest in that fight. For a long time, no one's been interested in boxing. And then they performed, you know, up to the level. I mean, Crawford was, you know, it reminded me of a Lee Frazier. I mean, you know, Crawford was moving and sticking and jabbing, and, you know, Canelo was like trying to go forward and move forward and get him in a corner, you know. And but there were some punches thrown. There was a undercard fight two earlier. I can't remember who the names of the guys were. They went at it for 10 rounds like Rock'em Sock'em robots. They were in the middle of the ring just throwing down, you know, like you don't see anymore. And the crowd was going crazy. It was like, you know, Vegas puts on events. I mean, you know, Super Bowl, this fight. I mean, I took you when you visited here by that airport where the private planes are.
Yeah.
You were stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
It was so many private jets, and you know they're going to be the Final Four here in a couple of years, I think. So, you know, Vegas is it used to be like a boxing town, you know, kind of.
Back in the day.
Now it's a sports town. I mean, hockey and football, and the A's are coming here, and hopefully an NBA someday. You know, so it's pretty
And the
cool.
A's, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mo, go ahead.
It just makes it really cool to live here and have this all coming around.
And the A's are coming to town. They are a much improved team, so they will be bringing a good team there. I guess they'll be in there next season. They're playing in Sacramento this
No, 2028.
2028 is when they get to
Yeah.
town. So
Yeah, they're playing in a minor league stadium in Sacramento now, and we have a beautiful minor league stadium here. It holds 10 to 12,000. But when I researched it, you know me, and I said, why aren't they playing here in this stadium then? And the reason is for tax purposes. They have to play in California to get their tax breaks till they do the actual move. But that stadium is going to be right by the MGM, right on the Strip. You've been by there. They've already, they start the groundwork and everything, and they're working on it. And from the looks of it, it's going to be something spectacular. The question I have is, like you just said, they better bring a good team here, or Vegas won't care. It just you got to be a winner. Look at UNLV basketball. When Tarkanian was here, the Shark, you couldn't buy a ticket, 18,000, and it was crazy. Now they've struggled for so many years, you can't get someone to take a ticket. I mean, I think they're going to be better this year, but Vegas loves winners. Everybody loves winners, but Vegas more than any city, I think, loves winners and have less patience for any team losing. You come here and say, hey, trust the process. Hey, they're going to boo you right out of town. Trust this process. Get out of here.
Absolutely. And we're on at a new time, so I just want to introduce ourselves to some of the people who may just be tuning in. If they aren't our friends who usually watch us at 9 o'clock, I'm Ricky Hampton, 35 years as a sports writer. I don't look it. I started when I was 3.5.
That's right, baby. You look young man.
Paul Mokeski, 12-year veteran of the National Basketball Association with the Milwaukee Bucks, Cleveland Cavaliers, and my beloved Detroit Pistons. Also played at Golden State. And Mo has coached at every level. He has scouted, been in front offices, and truly one of the most knowledgeable basketball minds I know. I've learned so much just sitting here every Monday talking with Mo.
I enjoyed chopping it up with you, and we encourage everybody to share this show. We're moving till early on Monday because of Monday Night Football, so we're going to be on this time from now on. And bring us questions and comments about anything. We'd love that. We chop it up here.
Yeah, and we also have guests. We've had everybody from Dr. J to how many Hall of Famers have we had? Rick Barry.
Artis Gilmore just got in. Artis Gilmore,
yeah. George Gervin.
I can't even. Del Harris.
Del Harris. The great shot blocker.
Mark Eaton.
James
Donaldson.
Yeah, we've had some great guests on the show, and we'll be doing that also from time to time as we talk NBA hoops and a little bit of everything else. Because one thing, what I love dealing with you, Mo, the business side of professional sports kind of runs along that same track. Teams are loyal to a point, and everything that happens is from a business perspective, whether it's a football team making a decision or a basketball team.
There's a lot more to it than people think. People think it's pro sports is like the fantasy leagues. You pick guys, you trade guys, you move guys around. It's not like that. You have salary caps. You have numbers that you have to mix. You got, all these kind of rules, especially in the NBA, that you got to abide by to make trades. And, it makes me a little upset sometimes, but it makes me laugh when I see on Facebook or wherever I'm looking, hey, they should trade this guy for that guy and this guy for that guy. And, we should go get, whatever. Well, if you're going to get a superstar, you're going to give up a lot to get him. So what does your team look like after that trade is more important than making the trade. So, a lot of people out there don't understand what's behind that. And we always talk about it. The underlying theme is money. And making money work is a big part of that.
Speaking of money, man, what do you think about this situation going on in LA with Kawhi Leonard, who supposedly has a great report by Pablo Torres saying that the Clippers got a deal with Kawhi where he has a no-show job that pays him $28 million a year, and they do that as a way to circumvent the salary cap.
Yeah, and that's illegal. And if they can find the paperwork and the money trail that shows that and is proof of that, rather than just someone writing an article, it has to be proof of that. Then the hammer will come down hard. There will be suspensions, firings, fines, taking draft picks away, all kinds of stuff that Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, can do if that's proven. But he came out last week and said, listen, it's up to us, the NBA, to produce proof, not for the Clippers and the owner Ballmer and Kawhi to produce proof for us. We have to have the proof that that's what happened. And the whole thing is to circumvent the salary cap. There's X amount of dollars you can spend in the salary cap, but there's three levels. There's the low level. It's like 119 million per team. Then there's the first apron. That's like 127. Then there's a second apron, and then there's so all these things come with consequences. Once you get higher up, paying your salaries to players higher up, you have to pay the league tax on that, and half that tax goes to the league, and half of it goes back to the owners that aren't over the salary cap, the ones that are at the salary cap or under the salary cap. So there's a lot of math involved. So people need to understand. So if I want to sign player X and he's a superstar, and I already have a lot of superstars on my team, but I want to sign him anyway, and he's under the max salary cap, I can go sign him. But if I sign him, let's say 50 million a year, and that puts me on the first or second apron, I have to match that salary, and it comes back. So that 50 million is going to cost me 100 million.
Yeah.
So that's where all this balancing comes in.
And if you did that under the table stuff, everybody would be doing it. So they gotta enforce that.
They put that in a long time ago when I was playing, because there are teams like the Indiana Pacers who would sign a player and then give him pit passes and a suite and all this stuff to the Indianapolis 500 that other teams can't provide, or they have more access to, and that's where it started. When I played for the Milwaukee Bucks, one of the early years in the early 80s, Bob Lanier and Junior Bridgman were both free agents, and the owner of the Bucks signed them to a salary, whatever that was, and gave both those players, and Marcus Johnson, gave both those players a Wendy's franchise in Milwaukee. He gave them a Wendy's franchise. And I think Bob and Marcus sold those for whatever they got. And Junior Bridgman, God rest his soul, he passed away this year. Just a smart guy, great basketball player. He turned that one Wendy's into 115 Wendy's across the country and the world, and became a billionaire. But that's kind of like circumventing the salary cap, what we're talking about. So in Kawhi's situation, what makes it really probably true is there's paperwork of the vice president of the Clippers,
right,
who is one of Ballmer's best friends, and he's a billionaire also, like almost equal to Ballmer, which is hundreds of billions of dollars. And he wrote checks to this company that was going under and filed for bankruptcy.
Restoration.
For 1.9 million, and then he wrote these checks to that company, and they went into the business and out the business to Kawhi.
Right.
Now, that's all well and fair if you're actually doing commercials or doing work or speaking, stuff like that. But that's still a gray area, because there's a employee of your team, your franchise, is sending those checks in. That's a problem. So that you can't circumvent the system like that. There are other teams that are probably doing it. It's kind of like NIL money, right? So, but there is no NIL money in the NBA. It all counts to the salary cap. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out, where the money trail goes, because if it's real, Clippers are going to pay dearly for it.
Yeah. Could you see Kawhi getting suspended for the entire season?
I don't know if he could, maybe, but it's kind of not his problem, right? You're paying me, but he knew if he knows, and there's some kind of paper trail or text messages or emails say, yeah, I know, this is kind of funny way to do it, but we got to do it to get around. And now you've got a problem. There's evidence there. But what it does is, if this is true, Kawhi Leonard's contract is null and void. They can null and void his contract. He becomes a free agent.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
Now that would be.
That is something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, my gut tells me, Ricky, that all this is kind of going to go away. It's like, hey, don't do that anymore and fix this up, and nobody else better do this. Or it could be, if there's a lot of evidence, it could be like, okay, we're going to make a statement now. I don't know if Ballmer could lose his franchise for that, but owners have lost their franchise for different things. But he can put a $100 million fine on you. He can take away draft picks, your first rounds for the next 5 years. He can limit your salary. He can do a lot of stuff to make it very difficult to win. And the Clippers just built that brand new arena in LA that they're trying to fill. So it would be a disaster if that happened.
Yeah. Marcus checked in. Coach Moore is one of the best at talking hoops. I have to agree with you, Marcus. Then he adds trouble if evidence comes up. And finally, if you get greedy, it can be costly. I have to agree with all those things there, brother. Let us hear your questions and comments, anything you've heard over the last couple of days, any questions you have about the upcoming season, more training camps around the corner. What team are you interested in seeing early this year as the season starts? I want to see what's going on for myself. I'm interested to see what happens down in San Antonio with the big fella.
Yeah, I mean, they picked up Harper, I think it was second pick or third or whatever he was in the draft, a point guard, a really nice point guard to go with that group of young guys. They have, I think with Wemby now, they have 3 former Rookie of the Years on their roster now.
Yep.
So, I think it's Castle, Vassell, and Wemby. But they have a young group with Harper coming in as a point guard. They signed the big kid from the Boston Celtics who played really well when Porzingis was hurt, Cornette. They signed him as a backup to Wemby. So that'll give Wemby some breathing room, and actually they could play together if they needed to. So they've made the right moves. The West is so loaded, though, Ricky. I don't know if it impacts them right away, but their goal now is to get in the playoffs, not be a play-in game, but get in the playoffs, which is a long order in the West. And then, then you got to grow. Then, you make the first round competitive, or maybe you win it. And now, 2 years from now, you're going to sign somebody else or draft somebody else, and now you got something to build on. So it's going to be interesting to see, in San Antonio, Ricky, they always seem to do things right and build the right way. And I think they're in that process right now. But the West is so loaded. I mean, you're looking at OKC, Denver, the Lakers, Dallas, Houston, Minnesota, the Clippers, Phoenix is still viable. So that's a lot of talent out there.
Yeah.
And I'll say, Ricky, we've been talking for almost 2 years now, even after they won, but especially last year, about the Denver Nuggets, who won the championship with like 6 players. That's it. And, they kind of surprised people. But then last year with 6 players, they couldn't get it done. So they went in and bolstered their roster with they got Hardaway, they got Cam Johnson. They picked up finally a backup for the Joker, Valanciunas. So they've really, Denver now, they've always had a great starting 5, but now their bench looks like they can compete with these other teams like OKC.
No, I meant to this happened about a week ago. We didn't get a chance to get on the air last week. Just the depth of quality basketball players there are in this world. This young man is a G leaguer. His name is Jordan Lloyd. He went up against Luka Doncic about a week ago, and he outplayed Luka. He had 34 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks, and led his team to an upset over Luka's team. He was playing for Poland. Luka plays for Slovenia.
Slovenia. Yeah.
Now, obviously, he's not the player Luka is, but for that one night,
sure,
he played the G League, dude. He couldn't even make the NBA.
Yeah, but I think this changes his whole atmosphere now. I mean, the NBA team's going to look at him for be on his roster, and that's happened. That happened to Dennis Schroeder. We can talk about him in a little bit, but yeah, and you know what? I didn't watch that game. I couldn't watch that game. I love watching the World Cup and Eurobasket because that's high level competition. And I clicked on something, and it's the Slovenian team, Luka's team, complaining about the refs. And the other team shot too many free throws, and Luka's the best player, and what that means is that kid frustrated not only Luka but their whole team for at least one night. So that's the love of the sport of basketball. Any given night, even Paul Mokeski can get in a zone and score 23 points and get 16 rebounds.
I see you do it. And Mo, long before I met you, I always admired your game because of the way you played. You always played the right way. You're a tough physical player, nothing flat. You just, you played the right way. And Dennis Schroeder is a point guard version of you. He plays the right way. I did not realize how good he was until he came to Detroit last year for those. I think he played the final 30, 35 games. As we talked about on the show, the Pistons were throwing the ball away all the time. He got there. He cut those turnovers in half, and you saw how good a team they became once he got there. And I think he averaged 13 points a game.
Yeah, but he probably had a 5-to-1, 6-to-1 assist turnover ratio, and also if you watch him play, he's very fiery, and he's got a respect of all the players. So when he goes in that locker room and says something, those guys listen to him, and he's got a way about him. And on the floor, he's a tough SOB. He doesn't put up with any crap. He doesn't care who he's playing. You want me to guard LeBron? I'll guard LeBron. I don't care. Luka, who cares? You want me to guard Wemby? I don't care. That's his attitude, and that covers, and that's contagious with the rest of the team and the whole organization. It's mind-boggling to me along those lines, Ricky, is why he can't stick with the team more than a year or two. He bounces around a lot, and you know what? I'm going to take it for what the great Rudy Tomjanovich told me. My second year in the league, when during training camp I got traded from the Houston Rockets to the Detroit Pistons 2 days before the season started, and I was really upset. And he said, "Listen, Mo, you can't worry about the team that traded you. You got to worry about that the team that got you in the trade wants you. So you got to go please them." And that's what Ricky, Schroeder. A lot of teams want him. I mean, I would. And even if he's the backup, his presence means a lot. I mean, the German team almost beat Team USA in the Olympics last time, and they had the game. And same with France a little bit too. So that's where my prediction in 2028, we're going to struggle for a medal in the U.S. But the German team gave USA all they could handle, and Schroeder's a big part of that. Wagner is a big part of that. They got a couple other nice players on there. But, without Schroeder, who makes big shots and makes big plays and passes.
That's what he did. That's what he did for Germany as they took on the Euro title. He was named the MVP. And now he's been the MVP of the Eurobasket and the FIBA games. And this writer is writing those accomplishments plus his longevity in the NBA will get him in the Hall of Fame one day, because people think that Basketball Hall of Fame is just NBA. It encompasses all of basketball, women's basketball, international basketball, of course, the NBA and college. And his resume on an international level is up there with everybody's.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that totally. I mean, he's had a great run here in the last 2 or 3 years, but when you look at European players, or even if they played in the NBA and they go over and play in European teams, they have a 5, 6, 8 year history of averaging 30 and winning 15 cups and all that stuff. So I'm not so sure that I believe Ricky Schroeder, he's going to be in. Yeah, Dennis Schroeder. Ricky Schroeder's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. Schroeder might have a chance.
That's pretty good. That's
But
really
I don't know if this does it, but it's right up there, man. I mean, he's playing at the highest level. Here in America, we don't understand the World Cup and Eurobasket, and I coached in those when I was assistant with Chris Finch in the Great Britain team. Those competitions, those countries, all those Germany and Spain and France and all Italy, all those teams, those are more important than the Olympics to those countries. The World Cup, the Euro Cup are all more important than the Olympics to those countries.
Well, Theo, what's up, Theo? He said he is, though, if Prince made it. But one thing about Prince, he made it as part of a team, Theo.
How many rings did Prince have? NBA ring?
Yeah, he's got one in Detroit. Tayshaun Prince, but that was that whole team that went in.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that was
okay. Yeah.
The 2000. That was the Redeem team or whatever he was part of. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, man. Hey, but Mo, he's the point guard version of you. He will beat you if you don't respect him. He will make plays to beat you.
He's not scared.
Yeah.
He'll step up in the biggest moment of the game and do a step up three or take it to the basket and get an N1. He's just I love the way he plays, and he's the guy that you hate to play against because he's always there. He's always making plays. It's like, and like you said, not many mistakes.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good point, Marcus. When we go back to the Spurs, Fox, and what he's able to do down there with that team.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Paul came in and played there for a year or two, I think, and helped their maturity and stuff. But Fox is more of an impactful player now in his career. So, that's a great piece to that team now.
Yeah. Kuminga just turned down $75 million for 3 years, Mo. Dang.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
You can say what you want. Steve Kerr's a friend of mine, okay, and Steve Kerr's a hell of a coach. Come on, man. He's won NBA championships as a coach, Olympic championship. But for some reason, Kuminga and Steve I don't know if they don't get along or, they're just not where they need to be relationship-wise, because Kuminga's a great talent. But you know what, though? If you watch him play, he makes spectacular plays, then he makes really dumb plays. So that, as a coach, that really bothers you. And he's a young player, and he's going to learn for sure if the patience is there. And I think at this point, the money they're throwing out, I'm not going to discard 75 mil, but at the same point, I could see where Kuminga wants to go somewhere where he can play consistently You know, be a starter and play 30, 35 minutes on a good team, maybe not a great team. So I can see where he's kind of, I don't think it's the money. I think there's something else there. And
If he should go to state, he's the third option, right?
third, yeah. I mean, Steph, uh, yeah, he's probably third. But you know that if you don't get along with your coach or it doesn't fit in with there, I mean, you know. But the bottom line is, if I'm the Golden State Warriors aren't going anywhere. They're not going to win anything. They don't have a center. They don't have a center. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. You know, your center is Draymond Green, all 6, 7 of them trying to guard the Joker for a 7-game series. Good luck with that, or anybody else even. Ayton for the Lakers now, who got Ayton. But you know, and then it's post. You know, who's a nice stretch 5, whatever. But you know, if you're trying to go after legitimately a championship, you got to have a center, man. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. Think about it. So if he goes there, if he signs with them, it's of course Steph and Jimmy Butler, and maybe even Buddy Hield before him, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're going to be the third option, you have to be consistent with your play. Talked about this the other day. You can't score 31 game and then the 11 the next game. You have to be consistent, and he's not that in his career yet. You know, so you know, I think he's got a lot of growing to do. I just don't know if it's in Golden State. I mean, if I'm Golden State and teams really want him and his value is where people think it is, then I'm trading him. I'm signing and trading him for a legit center, whoever that might be.
Yeah, that's been the one big flaw in their with their team in recent years, for sure. Uh, Quentin Grimes has 67 billion. He's got sitting on the table from Philly as Marcus Price. I mean,
Yeah.
all that money's just crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, and Philly though, you know, Philly's like the injury. Like, if you look at their roster, they got Maxey, Paul George, Oubre, Embiid. They signed Drummond and Lowry, Eric Gordon. Those are 3 veteran guys. They drafted Edgecombe, who played really well here in Las Vegas. You know, but if Embiid's not healthy, forget about it. I mean, it doesn't matter who you got.
Well, I just saw this come across my wire. Mo, going back to the thing with Kawhi Leonard, Adam Silver, Commissioner Adam Silver, says my powers are very broad.
Yeah.
He said, I'm gonna let this play out, but my powers are very broad.
Yes.
So that sounds to me, if this is something that ain't right, he's gonna drop the hammer on somebody.
Well, he can, and it depends on, I mean, so what does that mean? That means that I have the power to just kind of let this go and take a 2nd-round pick from you. Ooh. Or I could take 2 or 3 of your first rounders. I could limit your free agent signing. Bomber, I could take your team from you. I could take your team from you.
Yeah.
It would take a vote from the rest of the owners. I don't know if they would go with it, or I don't know what Adams' contract is. But if he says broad power, to me that means if I want, I could take that team from you.
That's obvious to me.
I mean, he got it years ago from the other owner. They took the team from him, the other owner.
Yeah, that is an ominous statement.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Mo.
No, I mean, he's making that statement to make sure that everybody knows that, you know, if this is what it looks like, that's almost as problematic as having a ref on the tape. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that statement? You know, because having a ref on the tape is one of the worst things that can happen. This is almost there. If you're, if you're going around the salary cap, you know, it's not really salary cap anymore, is it? It's just a salary idea.
Hey, Mo, we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week. uh, the NBA has changed the All-Star format again, and now it's going to feature USA versus World format with a round robin tournament. Uh, Mo, you should get some money for this, man. You've been bringing this up for what? 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, at least 3 years. I remember coming on here and saying what a joke the All-Star game is, and I told them how to fix it and put the world team against USA, because guess what? The world team is good enough to beat the US All-Stars, and they're going to try their hardest to do that. So what that does is it makes the US All-Stars have to play hard because they don't want to get embarrassed. There's one thing about pro athletes. They do have, most have big egos, and most do not want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be embarrassed. And that's going to make the game, maybe for the owners, too competitive.
But Mo, for you to say, I get it, the USA won't be the favorites at the Olympics when they go to LA, but them not to medal. There are 3 countries out there better than us.
Yeah, France, Germany, Slovenia, maybe. Yeah, and guess what? When you get in the medal rounds, it's only one game. It's one game. And we just saw a player play better than Luka in one game. So if that player is not as good as Luka, but it can outplay him in one game, any team at the Olympics can outplay USA in one game. And the FIBA format is totally different. It's 40 minutes, 10-minute quarters, not 48. That's 8 less minutes to be able to come back from a mess up. The three-point line is a little shorter, and they use it more often. So, 9, 12-point runs happen like in 30 seconds in FIBA basketball. It's crazy. And the other thing is the referees are totally different. They don't care. In the NBA, every NBA referee knows and pretty much respects and, gives breaks to some of the players. And, in FIBA, they don't care. In FIBA, the referees think they're the show. So, they'll tee you up. They don't care who you are. They'll be more physical. So, yeah, and look at the best players. It used to be forever. USA had the best player, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, 5 players, 6 players on the floor. Now, and anymore, in a lot of these teams, they don't have the best player on the floor. There's Luka, there's Giannis, there's Joker.
Well, Paul, tell me this: has basketball diminished in the United States? We don't know how to play anymore, or has the European game just gotten better? What has caused this?
A little of both. It's training. Europeans take their training more. AAU has ruined young basketball because they play too many games and they don't practice and learn how to play the game the right way. They fall in love with the three-pointer step back. They watch the NBA and try to mimic that. FIBA is not the NBA. It's a totally different game. Totally different game. And so, we haven't forgotten how to play basketball, but we haven't learned how to play efficient FIBA baskall. Totally different things.
Very good.
So, and the talent level is balancing out. But look, the last MVPs of the NBA are all non-American. I was talking to somebody the other day at dinner, and we're talking about this and that, and I said, name me the best. Who is the best American non-European center in basketball? Yeah, Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez. I mean, you got Wemby, you got the Joker, you got Giannis. They're not American. So Hartenstein's not even American.
Who's the best? Who is it?
I mean, if you go by, it's probably Holmgren, I guess, but he's not really a center. He's a wing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Is it Ayton? I mean,
Probably.
if you put Anthony Towns at the center, maybe it's him. I mean, you know, just look at it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Uh, you're watching. We got next. I'm Ricky Hampton, along with my great friend Paul Mokeski, former Milwaukee Bucks center and longtime NBA veteran. Uh, Sudan. Oh, Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canada. Pretty good. Yeah.
Well, Canada, their backcourt is SGA and Murray. That's their backcourt. With Dylan Brooks backing them up. That's their backcourt. I mean, the MVP and the Finals MVP, right? I think. I mean, Joker wasn't. That's their backcourt. Canada's always had the most NBA players on their national team than any other countries. Not so much anymore, but I mean, all those guys on the Canadian team are playing in the NBA. I mean, they don't have bigs though. That's their problem. But yeah, Canada's really talented.
Yeah. Mo here in Detroit, everybody. It sounds like Malik Beasley would like to come back to Detroit. He was involved with these gambling allegations, and his attorney says he's got an all clear, and nobody has disputed that yet. And he was in town the other day. But of course, the Pistons have signed Duncan Robinson, outstanding shooter. Also, do you take a chance on this guy? I guess you do for the right price.
Yeah, I mean, you discount the price for sure. I mean, it's great that they dropped the charges, and it's great that on paper, that doesn't prove anything to me that this can't pop up somewhere else. That's a red flag, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you're hiring, if you have a company and you're hiring an accountant, and in the past there were charges against him for embezzlement on another company, even though the charges were dropped, would you still hire that guy?
Right. Right.
I mean,
And he's cost him some money with this.
yeah, I think, but I think you go out and go, if you're going to be serious about competing, and this is the year, right? Because Boston did a wholesale thing, and with Tatum being down, and the whole thing is kind of open now. The Bucks are kind of there, but the Cavs, the Knicks are your biggest company. So if you're the Pistons now, you want to go after it. So I would try and sign them at a reduced price, and put them in there. So you're looking at Cunningham, LeVert, Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson, Stewart, Reed is their center. Not great about that. Thompson, Jaden Ivey, Sasser. You add him to that group, you got a nice group there. You still need a better
They're
center.
not big enough, though.
Yeah.
I think Marcus mentioned earlier about Valanciunas going to Golden State. Hell, I'd love to see him come here. Hey, Mo, we got 10 minutes left, and we have not.
Denver signed Valanciunas.
Oh, did he sign with that? Okay.
Yeah, he's Joker's backup now. That's a big move. It's a nice move.
A great backup for Joker.
Oh,
Mo,
yeah.
We got the WNBA playoffs going on, and with all due respect to the ladies, nobody can be watching them now with pro football on the way, baseball heading down the home stretch, the pennant races, and college football. I mean, who's watching the WNBA?
Well, there are fans.
I'm not.
Yeah, they're watching them in person. They sold out the Aces Arena here the other night. They sell out with the Liberty. They sell out in other places. So, but this is proof that ticket sales don't pay the bills.
Right.
TV money and skyboxes pay the bills. That and advertising, that's what pays the bills. But yeah, you're right. There's so much going on now, and actually, college basketball's around the corner too. So there you go. But my Aces are on a roll. They've won 17 in a row now here in Las Vegas. They they beat up on Seattle Storm 102-77 the other night, and Asia Wilson's going to be the MVP again. So there's some good competition. Phoenix versus New York, Liberty, the current champions. Minnesota's got a great team. They're playing the Valkyries, who is a new team out of Golden State. So there's a lot of good basketball, but at the same time, I believe you, Ricky. Who's going to watch on TV? I mean, and that's why it's mind-boggling to me that they're going to just kind of brush off a minimum salary of $250,000, a max of $1 million that was offered to them for a 3-month contract, 3 months season. It's 3 months.
And to their credit, Mo, they had enjoyed. I mean, it's not much, but a 2% increase in viewership for their ESPN games.
Yeah, I mean, but they want to make giant leap. I mean, when I came in the league, Ricky, you were there. The NBA Finals weren't on live TV; they're tape delayed.
Yeah.
So it took us time, and it took us years and years to get where we're at to get 50% split. Now you're the WNBA, a 25-year history, and you lost money every year, and you want to get a 50-50 split, or just you haven't earned it yet. So you have to have patience. Take this $250,000 for 3 months of work. That's what you'll get as a minimum.
Mike has a very interesting comment. Aces have a great product, but it doesn't translate on TV.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, they really play good basketball. They move the ball. Asia Wilson, they have a great point guard. They have good shooters, and it's really good basketball. But I agree with you. After I watch it for about 8 minutes or something, I don't know if I can watch it anymore. I'm sorry. I kind of agree with you.
I think to me the problem is they do a lot of things as well. They shoot the ball as well as the men do. Definitely shoot free throws better than the men, but they don't finish.
Yeah,
I mean, guys are finishing at the rim and dunking, and then
Yeah, so they're taking shots at the rim that you actually have to shoot.
right.
In the men's game, they're laying it up or dunking it. That's two different things. And the speed of the game is not there. The athleticism is not there. Now they're athletic, and you know what? They execute really well, probably better than the men also. Shooting, I don't free throws for sure, Ricky. Shooting, I'm not so sure. I mean, they're right there.
Well, I go with you with that. Definitely free throws.
Yeah, for sure. And execution, and ball movement, way less one-on-one in the WNBA than the NBA, way less. So kind of like it should be funner to watch. I don't know.
Well, it's going to be. We'll keep our eye on it as we head down the home stretch of the WNBA playoffs. I wish they would start it a little earlier. I mean, I don't know how they can fix that in their scheduling. Maybe that's something they will address as they.
I think I'm probably wrong. People out there can maybe check me on this, but they had a hesitation in their schedule because the Olympics, I think, last year, and that might have affected some. I don't know, maybe not, because the WNBA shut down for three weeks during the Olympics.
Yeah.
To allow their players to play for their country. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Mo, we just got a couple of minutes. Any final thoughts?
Well, I think it is kind of fun, though. I love that football's in full swing, college and pro. I love that the NBA is right around the corner. I I love that the baseball playoffs are coming because I don't watch baseball during the year. It's too freaking boring. Sorry, Ricky. But I do watch in the playoffs. You know what exciting baseball there is? The Little League World Series. That's exciting.
Absolutely.
I watch all those games.
And now I've watched more baseball this year only because the Tigers are doing well. So I usually pick up in the playoffs for baseball.
Well, you have a Lions hat on. I got a Packer hat. Maybe we got to get you you got a Tiger hat. I got to get I got to find a Brewer hat. I got to get a Brewer hat.
Well, the Brewers have had a great season for sure, Mo. Gosh, it was one other thing I was going to mention to you, and it slipped my mind. Maybe I'll think of it by next week.
Let me check.
Yeah, but Mo, I think we got a lot of new viewers here at this hour, and I'm excited about that. And subscribe to our show. Let me put this up here. Where you could go and catch our show. Check us out on Sports Fluent and on YouTube. And you can see all our shows and all our past shows. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to hear from you too. We changed the times to adapt to the Monday Night Football. I think it's a good idea. Let us know what you think about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Mo, I can't think of what else I was going to ask.
Yeah, it's really scary, Ricky, because between us, we have like half a memory. That's not kind of.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, let's get out of here, Mo. For my great friend Paul. Wait a minute, we got one more comment here. Let's try to. Great show. Rock Chalk Coach Mo.
Chalk Jayhawk, baby.
For Paul Mokeski, I'm Rick Hampton. We'll see you next week. Peace, everybody. Have a good week.
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.